Welcome back to English Vision, the podcast. Today, we're diving into something everyone needs, but many people struggle with in English, talking about your feelings. And trust me, this episode is going to make your emotional vocabulary so much stronger. So stick with us and repeat after us whenever you can.
Absolutely. A lot of learners can talk about daily routines or hobbies, but when it comes to expressing emotions, real emotions, they freeze. And that's totally normal. But today, Emma and I are going to help you get comfortable saying how you really feel in English.
Let's start with a hook to warm you up. Imagine someone asks you, "How are you feeling today?" And instead of just saying, "I'm fine," which is what everyone says, you can actually use real emotional vocabulary. Expressions like, "I'm excited," "I'm frustrated," "I feel overwhelmed," or even, "I'm proud of myself." These small upgrades make your English feel alive and confident.
Exactly. And you can repeat after us to make the words stick. Ready? Say it with me. I'm excited. Now, I'm frustrated. And last one, I'm overwhelmed. Nice job.
Let's talk about situations where you'd use these phrases. For example, picture this simple mini dialogue. A. Hey, how's your day going? B. Honestly, I'm a little overwhelmed. I have so much to do. See? Natural, honest, simple.
And it makes you sound more fluent because real English speakers share emotions, not just information. Keep listening because we're about to give you even more feelings-related vocabulary and real examples you can use today.
And don't forget, stay with us, repeat with us, and grow with us. When you start to express your feelings clearly, people understand you better, and conversations become more meaningful. Think about a moment when you felt proud of something, but didn't know how to say it in English. Try this. I feel proud of myself because I accomplished something important. Go ahead and repeat that with us so it sticks in your mind.
Another useful phrase is, I'm relieved. You use it when a stressful situation finally ends or when something goes better than expected. Imagine you thought you lost your phone and then you find it under your pillow. You can say, I'm so relieved. Say it with me. I'm so relieved.
Feelings aren't only about the big emotional moments. They show up in tiny daily situations too. You might wake up on a Monday and think, I'm feeling a bit unmotivated today. That's a powerful sentence because it's honest and real, and honesty makes your English sound natural.
Here's a mini dialogue to make it practical. A. How are you feeling about the meeting later? B. A little nervous, but also excited. I want to do well. This kind of answer shows depth and personality instead of just I'm fine or I'm okay.
And that combination, nervous but excited, is actually super common. Many situations mix emotions, and expressing that mix makes you sound advanced in English. Try repeating it. I'm nervous but excited.
You're doing great if you're repeating out loud with us. That's how you train your mouth, your rhythm, and your confidence. Emotional vocabulary grows fast when you use it in real examples, and we're giving you plenty to practice with.
Another feeling that comes up a lot is confusion, because everyone experiences moments when things simply don't make sense. A great phrase for this is, I'm a bit confused, or I'm not sure how I feel about this. These are soft, natural expressions that help you communicate without sounding too harsh or too direct.
And sometimes you don't just feel one emotion. You feel uncertain, mixed, or somewhere in between. For that, you can say something like, I feel conflicted. That means two parts of you want different things. For example, I feel conflicted about changing jobs. I'm excited for something new, but I'm scared to lose what I already have.
That sentence is full of honesty, and honesty helps people connect with you more easily. Repeat after us. I feel conflicted. It's a powerful phrase because it sounds thoughtful, reflective, and real.
Sometimes your feelings are stronger and you want to express intensity. For that, you can use phrases like, I'm absolutely thrilled, or I'm completely exhausted. Notice those adverbs, absolutely and completely. They make your emotions sound bigger.
Here's a quick example in everyday conversation. A. How did your interview go? B. I'm absolutely thrilled. They offered me the position. This shows high emotion without needing complicated vocabulary.
And on the opposite end, if you're feeling low, tired, or emotionally drained, you might say, I'm feeling worn out, or I'm emotionally drained. These expressions let you share what's happening inside instead of hiding it behind a simple, I'm fine.
And remember, the more you practice saying these phrases out loud, the more natural they become. Keep repeating with us and keep absorbing these small but powerful upgrades to your English.
There's also the feeling of being encouraged or inspired. And this one is important because it often appears in conversations about goals or personal growth. You can say, I feel inspired, or I feel motivated to make a change. These phrases show that something has sparked energy inside you, and they're great for conversations about learning, career, or even relationships.
And sometimes emotions come with a reason attached, which makes your message clear. For example, I feel inspired because I watched a great video, or I feel motivated because I finally understand what I want. Connecting the emotion with the reason helps people understand you better and makes your English sound full and expressive.
Another useful feeling is embarrassment, because everyone experiences awkward moments. You can say, I feel embarrassed, or if you want a softer version, I feel a little embarrassed. Adding a little makes the phrase friendlier and less intense.
Imagine this short dialogue. A. Why were you so quiet during the presentation? B. I felt a little embarrassed because I forgot what I was going to say. This is honest, believable, and very natural English.
And on the opposite end, if you're feeling low, tired, or emotionally drained, you might say, I'm feeling worn out, or I'm emotionally drained. These expressions let you share what's happening inside instead of hiding it behind a simple, I'm fine.
And remember, the more you practice saying these phrases out loud, the more natural they become. Keep repeating with us and keep absorbing these small but powerful upgrades to your English. Some emotions are connected to curiosity, and this is a great one for conversations where you want to learn more or show interest. You can say, I'm curious about that, or I'm interested in hearing more. These phrases open doors in conversations and make people feel that you care about what they're saying.
Curiosity often appears in personal discussions too, not just academic or work-related ones. For example, someone might tell you they're starting a new hobby, and you can respond with, I'm curious about how that works, or I'm interested in trying it someday. These responses keep conversations alive and natural.
Another feeling that helps you express yourself clearly is doubt, especially when you're unsure about a decision. You can say, I'm unsure. I have doubts about this, or I'm not completely convinced. These are polite ways to express hesitation without sounding negative or rude.
Picture this short example. A. Do you think we should change the plan? B. I'm not completely convinced. I feel like we need more information. This is respectful, thoughtful, and very natural in real conversation.
There's also a feeling many people struggle to express, jealousy or envy. A gentle way to say it is, I feel a bit jealous, or I'm a little envious. These softer expressions make the emotions sound mature and calm instead of aggressive.
On the opposite side, there's admiration, which is a warm and positive emotion you can use when you deeply appreciate something about someone. You can say, I really admire your dedication, or I admire the way you stay calm under pressure. Using admiration makes your English feel supportive and encouraging.
And then there's anticipation, the excitement you feel when you're waiting for something good to happen. You can express it by saying, I'm looking forward to it, or I can't wait. These phrases show excitement without needing dramatic vocabulary.
Practicing these emotions trains you to express yourself like a natural speaker, and each phrase helps you connect more authentically with others.
Another feeling that appears often in real conversations is sympathy, the emotion you feel when someone else is going through something difficult. You can say, "I'm sorry you're dealing with that," or "I understand how you feel." These phrases don't try to fix the problem, they simply show care, and that makes your English sound warm and human.
A related feeling is concern, which is useful when you're worried about someone or something. You might say, "I'm concerned about you," or "I'm a bit worried about the situation." These expressions help you communicate support in a respectful, gentle way.
And sometimes people struggle to express excitement in a natural tone. You can go beyond "I'm happy" by using phrases like "I'm really excited about this," or "This makes me so happy." These sound lively and authentic without being too strong.
On days when emotions feel heavy, another helpful phrase is, "I'm feeling discouraged." This is great for conversations about goals, work challenges, or moments when things just aren't going right. It shows honesty without sounding hopeless, and that balance is important when communicating feelings in English.
For emotional balance, there's also calmness and peace, feelings that help describe positive, quiet moments. You can say, "I feel calm," "I feel at peace," or "I feel relaxed after a long day." These expressions add depth to your emotional vocabulary because they're simple but meaningful.
Another emotion worth practicing is determination, which shows strong inner motivation. You can express it with phrases like, "I'm determined to improve," or "I'm committed to reaching my goal." These sentences sound confident and powerful, and they're great for self-development conversations.
And when something surprises you, you can say, "I'm shocked," "I'm surprised," or a softer version like, "That caught me off guard." These phrases sound natural in everyday reactions, whether the surprise is positive or negative.
Every emotion you learn gives you one more tool to express yourself clearly, and that's how your English becomes personal and alive.
There's also the feeling of nostalgia, that warm emotion you get when you remember something from the past that meant a lot to you. You can express it by saying, "I feel nostalgic," or "This reminds me of old times." These phrases help you share stories and memories in a natural, emotional way.
And sometimes emotions come from pressure or responsibility, which many learners struggle to describe. A useful phrase is, "I feel pressured," or "I feel a lot of responsibility on my shoulders." These expressions help you communicate stress without sounding dramatic or overwhelmed.
Another emotion people rarely talk about openly is guilt, but it's a common human feeling. You can say, "I feel guilty about that," or a softer version, "I feel a little guilty for not helping more." These phrases help you express personal accountability in an honest but gentle way.
And when someone does something kind for you, you might feel touched, which is a warm emotional reaction. You can say, "I'm really touched by your kindness," or "That really moved me." These are beautiful expressions for describing emotional moments that make you feel cared for.
Another emotion you might want to express is confidence, especially when you feel ready and capable. You can say, "I feel confident about this," or "I trust myself to handle it." Practicing these positive emotions makes your English feel empowering and strong.
On the other hand, when things feel uncertain, you can use the phrase, "I feel hesitant." This is softer than saying you don't want something, and it helps you sound thoughtful and polite. For example, "I feel hesitant about agreeing so quickly."
And then there's fascination, a feeling of deep interest or amazement. You can say, "I'm fascinated by this idea," or "This topic really interests me." These expressions help you sound engaged and enthusiastic in discussions.
Expanding your emotional vocabulary helps you express your inner world with accuracy and confidence. And every new phrase you learn gives you more control over how you communicate.
Another feeling that can shape a conversation is relief after making a difficult decision or solving a problem that has been stressing you out. You can express it by saying, "I feel relieved now," or "A huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders." These phrases show emotional release and help listeners understand how important the moment was for you.
There's also frustration, which appears when things don't go the way you expect. Instead of simply saying, "I'm angry," you can use, "I'm feeling frustrated,"
or "This is really testing my patience." These expressions are softer and more precise, making them extremely useful in both personal and professional situations.
Another helpful emotion to practice is appreciation for small moments, like enjoying a quiet morning or noticing something beautiful. You can say, "I feel content," or "This makes me feel peaceful." These simple expressions help you describe subtle emotions that many learners overlook.
And when you're energized or full of enthusiasm, you might feel pumped. You can say, "I'm feeling energized," or "I'm pumped for this." These phrases are casual, friendly, and common in conversations where you want to express excitement in a lively but natural way.
And when you feel unsure about your emotional state, there's a helpful phrase many native speakers use: "I'm still processing my feelings." This expression shows that you're thinking, reflecting, or trying to understand how you truly feel, and it's surprisingly common in deeper conversations.
Every new emotion you can express gives you more freedom to communicate with clarity, honesty, and confidence, which is exactly what helps your English sound natural and human.
Another emotion worth exploring is admiration mixed with surprise, the feeling you get when someone exceeds your expectations in a positive way. You can express it by saying, "I'm impressed," or "That really surprised me in a good way." These phrases help you respond naturally when someone does something skillful, thoughtful, or unexpected.
And sometimes your emotions are tied to uncertainty about the future, which is completely normal. You can say, "I'm feeling uncertain right now," or "I'm not sure what to expect." These expressions are useful when discussing plans, changes, or decisions you haven't fully figured out yet.
Another feeling people often experience is calm excitement, the kind that builds slowly instead of suddenly. You can express it by saying, "I'm quietly excited," or "I feel a gentle excitement about this." These phrases allow you to describe subtle emotions without sounding too loud or dramatic.
And then there's the feeling of being encouraged by someone else's words or actions. You might say, "That really encouraged me," or "I feel supported by what you said." These expressions show how deeply language can impact emotions, and they help build stronger communication between people.
Another common emotional experience is the sense of realization when something suddenly becomes clear to you. You can express it by saying, "I just realized something," or "It suddenly clicked for me." These phrases are great for storytelling and explaining moments of understanding.
And sometimes you feel a sense of connection with someone when they share a similar experience or emotion. You can describe it by saying, "I relate to that," or "I feel the same way." These expressions help you bond with others through shared feelings and experiences.
And when you want to describe the emotion of being deeply calm or mentally clear, you can say, "I feel centered," or "I feel grounded." These phrases describe a balanced emotional state that many learners don't often talk about, but native speakers use frequently.
The more emotional vocabulary you build, the more precisely you can express yourself. And that precision gives your English authenticity and confidence.
Another emotion that appears in everyday conversations is anticipation mixed with slight fear, the kind you feel before trying something new or stepping outside your comfort zone. You can express it by saying, "I feel a bit anxious but hopeful," or "I'm nervous but I know it will be good for me." These phrases show emotional honesty while still staying positive and confident.
And sometimes you experience emotions connected to personal growth, such as feeling proud of yourself for making progress, even if it's small. You can say, "I'm proud of how far I've come," or "I feel good about the effort I'm putting in." These expressions help you celebrate your achievements in a healthy, natural way.
There's also the feeling of reassurance when someone's words or actions help you feel safe or understood. You can express it by saying, "That reassures me," or "I feel more at ease now."
Another powerful emotion is feeling inspired by someone else's story or success. You might say, "That motivates me," or "Hearing that gives me hope." These expressions show how other people influence your emotions and push you forward.
And then there's the emotion of feeling understood, which is one of the most comforting feelings in any language. You can say, "I feel understood," or "I feel seen." These phrases communicate deep connection and emotional clarity,
All these emotions together help you express your full inner world in English, making your conversations richer, deeper, and more human.
If you've been repeating these phrases with us, you're already becoming more confident in expressing your feelings in English, and that's something to be proud of.
Thank you for being here with us and growing your emotional vocabulary step by step.
Subscribe for more content like this and keep building your English vision with us. Bye for now.